Hello Flosstube! I am back with another video. It is today, and if I look to the side as always, checking my notes, today is the 8th of April. It is Monday morning and it is, I think, about 1.5 weeks that since I last filmed. So here we are. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new here. I am Sen. I am an artist and designer, and this is my little place on YouTube for everything cross-stitch. So I hope you do enjoy your time here. I'm going to show a few of my bibs that I worked on, and we have quite a few new starts since last time, at least for this short amount of time. So I'm going to show you those as well. If you enjoy what you see and if you want to continue watching what I get up to, please do subscribe and leave a like if you like this video, and I always love to chat with you in the comments, so let me know what projects you like the most. But for now, without further ado, let's get into what I've been up to. So, let's start with the new starts. As usual, I have 3 this time. I have been enabled by a few other Flosstubers, although I can never remember who exactly. I watch quite a few, so maybe one day I will be able to actually make notes, because I've tried a lot of times. If you're a returning viewer, you know that I've tried all kinds of stuff, like taking better notes of what I started when and on what fabric and all that, but that's unfortunately not the type of person I am. I'm very bad at note taking, I'm very bad at everything paperwork, so I love seeing it. I would love to be able to do it, but I just don't, and this is mainly a hobby for me, so I do not want to stress myself. So sorry if you are here to see all the stats and everything, but that is not the type of channel this will be. But anyway, rambling, that's also a thing you will have to expect, and I will not apologize for that. So, I have seen these on a few Flosstubers channels lately. These are sort of travel posters by Country Magic Stitch. They do have a website, but they are also on Etsy. I got this one on Etsy. They have quite a few of these Hobbit and Lord of the Rings and other patterns, and I got this one and I started it. Originally I wanted to start it while doing a rewatch of The Hobbit, although I haven't gotten to starting the rewatch yet, but I have started the pattern. So this is where I'm currently at with it. I started in this corner here, moved all the way across, and then worked a bit in this on the side here. This is the whole width of the what the finished thing is gonna be, because I think this is a 28 count. I love stitching on this very small counts when it comes to full coverages, and I'm also doing this in 10 stitch. This is an supposed to be Ada that I got from AliExpress. It's probably more like an even weave than an Ada, but well, I won't complain. I like it. Unfortunately, I have not been able to find the shop again from where I got this particular fabric. So every other fabric that I ordered from AliExpress after that didn't have this kind of nice quality. So maybe I will find it again, and then I will make sure that I do not lose that particular shop again. But yeah, that is my first start since last week. And the next 2 are actually my own patterns that I made. As also for my returning viewers, you know that I do make patterns. Everyone, if you're new here, I do design cross-stitch patterns, and I also chart cross-stitch patterns from my own art, and sometimes from photographs that I take. but mainly my art. So I am an artist. I draw and I paint, and recently I've gotten back into gouache landscape paintings, and those that I do like, I do chart into cross stitch patterns. So the first one that I did is this one here, and I started stitching that one as well. You can get these in my Etsy shop. It is linked down in the description if you are interested. And as for where I am with that one, let's see, it's also on the same fabric as the previous one. So I UFO'd a large project of mine. I have quite a bit of fabric that I can use for other projects now. This is how far I am. This is the first page, like the first two not rows, columns. 100 by 100, no, 10 by 10 blocks. The first 10 by 10 blocks on the first page is how far I am with this one. Not that far, but it's a good start for, I think I worked on it for 3 days. It has a bit of confetti in the blue, so that took but the starts for me always take quite a while on the first columns, and then when I go down, it usually goes faster. Also, it always depends on how much I stitch on that particular day, of course. And I have had a busy week, so this one didn't get too much love on the 3 days that I worked on it. And the third and final new start is also one of my own artworks that I charted, which is this one. And again, for those of you who have been around for a while, you know that like the green foresty landscape that's totally my thing. I could stitch like 100 of those if I had the time. But I mean, imagine that finished on my wall, right? That would be, I think that would fit quite well. But yeah, this is also available as of yesterday. So by the time you're watching this, it is up in my shop. And I also started this one yesterday, and I got quite far with it for just one evening of work. Let me show you. And this is what I meant. Like, I got this fabric. It's fine. I mean, it's actually quite. When I got it, I was a little bit disappointed at first because I thought, yeah, the quality doesn't seem to be that good, as it's very see-through. But it's actually quite nice to work on, I figured, when I started this one yesterday. This is also fabric from China. So this is where I am with this one. Starting in the top right corner, there's a lot of black in there, so this went quite fast. This is also the width of the first page. The first two blocks of 10 by 10, and then going down into the next two 10 by 10 blocks here. That's where I stopped last night. There is a bit of confetti stitches missing here in the light that I still need to do, which I will when I get further down here and get more of the light noobs where I can park the thread probably, so I don't have to cut it off. So probably we'll do some more work on this one tonight. So that is that one. And yeah, I will have no whip shaming here. I have a ton of projects, I know. I'm not the worst in that regard. I know the worst. I know a lot of people here have way more than I do. And I occasionally finish some things. So, okay, coffee break. Now, I did work on a few of my standing whips as well. So I'm going to show you them now. First off, I did a little bit of work on my one and only fancy lady that I'm working on. This is Celtic Autumn by blank. I mean, you probably know these are quite popular. Lavender and lace. Thank you, brain. And I am stitching this one on a linen, a 40 count hand dyed Newcastle, I think this is, in this beautiful teal color. This is by a shop called Leonora Crafts. It's a German dyer. I got this one on Etsy. And I will definitely order from her again if I decide to stitch more on linen, which I really do enjoy. For me, these are quite expensive, so usually they are out of my budget. But this one is quite special to me, so I wanted it to have the right fabric. So let's see how I can best show this to you. A bit of finicking. And I did a full color conversion on this, so that's what she currently looks like. Because I wanted her to look like a certain character from one of my D&D games that I played a while ago last year. Let's see if I can get... And since I'm stitching this on 40 count, I figured usually these ones have beads, but it's really hard to show, isn't it? But the beads are too large. So I changed the beads for metallic thread, and I don't think it picks up well on camera. I did a little bit of this here. I colored this part here in, as well as her headdress. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's different colored metallic threads in there, and also here where there should be beads. I think it picks up a little bit. There you can see it. There's gold metallic in there, so, which I personally like. And yeah, that's where I am with her. I also changed the writing that's here. It's not gonna say which one is it? So I already forgot. It's not gonna say autumn, so I'm gonna do something else with that once I get to it. So now let me fold this again. It's a large piece of fabric. And there is a needle in here. I'm sorry. That's the thing with showing stuff on camera. Actually, sometimes I think, like with this videos, the pulling stuff out and putting it away is what takes the longest. So, and back in her bag she goes. This is something that sometimes I work on her quite a lot, and sometimes I just do a little bit, depending on what I feel like and how I have the time. But that's what I did on her. Next I worked on is also something that I charted myself. However, it's not my own artwork. It used to be from back when I still charted AI images for my shop, which I am no longer doing, and all of the patterns that I made from that have been removed. So there's unfortunately no way of getting this one anymore. And I do not have a cover page printed out. This is like a stained glass piece with a dragon. If you want to see how it looks finished, keep watching my videos. One day it will be. You can also check out my Instagram. I think I have a picture of it posted there. But yeah, I'm not gonna get more into my reasoning about the AI situation. I have talked about this before. There are a lot of people who have talked about it. If you have specific questions, put them in the comments. I am always up to answering if you want to know what's up with that and everything. Yeah, but that's that one. I started it, so I am gonna finish it I'm not going to buy any AI made patterns or sell them or whatever in the future. Next up, this is a magazine pattern, which I quite like. This is from a German cross-stitch magazine. It's a smaller full coverage, as you can see it only has 4 pages. So this one goes quite fast, and I worked on this one a little bit. This is where it's currently at. And I did, well, let's get this thread out of the way. I did a little bit in the flower here, and in this, I did this leaf, and the blue coming around this leaf here. That's what it's this is where it is at. Talking is difficult for me today, apparently. But yeah, first 2 pages are currently in the works. This is the whole width of the project, and it's gonna be about this size in total. So, as I said before, I like to stitch my full coverages small. This is a 25 count, easy count, or easy grid Lugana that I'm stitching this one on, which is also one of my favorites, as I came to figure out. So that is the... what is the name of these flowers? I don't remember the English word for it. The pond flowers. Put it in the comments, please, if you are an English-speaking person and can tell me what the name of these pond flowers are. Next one I worked on is one of my oldest whips, or older whips from 2001, 2002. One of the 2 dragon dice patterns that they are from White Raven Patterns, as you can see here. I got them on Etsy, and I quite like them. I have one gripe with it, which I will show you in a moment. This is where I'm at. Oh, this is upside down. This is where I'm at. Let me put something back. I can put the back behind it, can't I? So, this is where I'm at with it. It's quite far. It shouldn't take me too long to finish it, if I actually get to it. But as to where I am a bit unhappy with this pattern, and as someone who now designs patterns themselves, I know what the issue with this is. The trees here, as you can see, there are 3 different shades, right? That's what it looks like. There's a light green, a mid-tone green, and a dark green over here. The thing is, this mid-tone green here, right? This one here, that's 2 different shades of green, but you cannot see it, and it will be the same in the dragon. Let me show you the printout of the mock-up. See here, you can see this. There's 2 different. Also up here, let me put that side by side, so you can see it in this tree here. Of course, here's part missing on my actually stitched one, but you can see it in the bottom trees. And like these 2 colors here, this one, this darker one, and this lighter one, these 2 here, although these, yeah, you can see it better here. These 2 colors, they are so similar on the actual floss that you do not see a difference between them. And this will also happen with the dragon. Once I get to this, as it happened with the trees, and that's basically my only gripes with this pattern, that again, that there is the part of the shading is just non-existent because the colors are too similar. Um, and the point, the thing, how this happens is usually when you design the pattern, like, and don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful pattern, but like when you design the pattern in a program, even like a good one that you pay for, like WinStitch and so on, they do not 100% accurately show the colors of the actual floss, and of course there's also dye lots and such. But even without dye lots, some colors are too similar to get proper shading out of them, because when they are actually stitched, they look exactly the same. And if you do not do a model stitch of the design you make, then you do not notice. And you will only notice when it's actually stitched. So most designers do model stitches for their patterns. I suppose this one didn't have one, because there's only the mock-up on here, which in general is fine. It's still gonna be very beautiful, and I will love it, even with less shading, but that's just what, and maybe I'm too nitpicky, you know, but that's the thing that I noticed. And I unfortunately noticed it too late to change the color myself. I had already stitched quite a bit, and I didn't want to pull it all out again. But yeah, that's a little discourse into pattern making for you, and if that bored you, I'm sorry. But yeah, that's this one, and I will hopefully get around finishing it soon. And I want to get some of my older whips done. And the last one, is it the last one? Yeah, the last one I worked on is also one of my older whips that I started in 2022, which is this one. I do not know the name of the shop where this came from. This is from Etsy, but I think that it's also no longer there, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was a Russian designer. Oops, excuse me. And for reasons we all aware of, they all got removed from Etsy a while ago. So this is how far I am with this. It's also very tiny. It's one of my few 1/1 full coverage stitches. This is also the whole width of the pattern. It's not going to be larger than this. And sometimes I do regret that I started on this green fabric, because one of the mid-tone greens is exactly the same color as this. Or not exactly the same, but very similar. I don't know if you can see it here. Oops, where is it? Here, where I've been working. That it really disappears into the fabric, which does not matter in the long run, because as this is a full coverage, the other colors around it will, like all the lighter greens and then the darker greens that will come up in the pattern later. That will work fine, but stitching it with those particular colors is a bit difficult. Although it works. I make do. And yeah, that's where I am with that. I didn't do too much on it, just a little bit. Put this one back in here. I need to cut these the printouts so they go back into their bags easier. Oh, look, it's a cat. It's a little kitty cat. I love this bag. It's so cute. But that is it for my whips and my new starts. I do not have a finish this time, unfortunately. Maybe we will have one next time. We will see. I do have a tiny haul. I visited my parents for Easter, and usually when I go there, I go to like the store at the train station where they sell magazines and such. And something that really bothered me, and maybe I am nitpicky again when I went there, They do have some of the international magazines, like they have one of the American ones and one of the UK ones, and I do get that those are more expensive here than they would be over where they are printed because of the import fees and whatever. I do have them digitally because I do have the Readly app, so both of them are in that app. They did have an Italian magazine though that interested me, that I was looking through, and there were some cute patterns in there. And then I looked at the price and it said €5, and I was like, oh yeah, cool, I'm gonna take that one for €5. And obviously, like, Italy is not that far away from Germany. It's both in the EU. We do not pay any extra taxes for buying stuff from other EU countries and such. But when I went to the cashier and she told me that it was €16, I was like, wait, what? Why is it €16? It says 5 on the magazine, and then she told me, yeah, it's €5 in Italy, but if you buy it here, it's €16, and then there was a tiny print at the bottom of the cover that said, like, for distribution in other European countries it's €16, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna pay €16 for this. I found that quite ridiculous, to be honest. Because even if I would ask someone in Italy to buy this magazine for me for €5 and then ship it to me, that would still be not €16. So, but anyway, what I did get was this one. This is a I think it comes out every 3 months, and I have a few of those. This is also where the pond flower pattern that I showed you earlier that I'm working on came from one of these magazines. This also got more expensive. It used to be €5 and now it's €6.50. But yeah, everything gets more expensive this year. I do like this one that they have on the cover, the smaller full coverage one. This might be one that I'm gonna stitch. And let me show you everything that's in there. These are the patterns that are in there. Usually this particular magazine only has patterns in there, and a lot of commercial stuff, like buy all patterns online kind of pages like that. I do like, as I said, the full coverage one, this one. I also like the cat. Although I am not sure, looking at it, from what I know, it may very well be an AI generated image that was used for this, because I know quite a lot of these. Then I also do like this one up here. It's a little simple one. And I also like the flower one, although I'm probably not gonna stitch it. And from this one down here, if I would stitch it, I'd probably just stitch the little bird here. But that is what this one is. There's like only the patterns in there, so I can't really show you much. And the only other thing that they have, and all of the patterns in here are in color. And they have they are charted with 4 different brands of floss, which is nice. They obviously have the DMC, then they also have Madeira, Anchor, which is I think the most common here in Germany is Anchor. And then they also have Ariadna, which I never heard before. So they chart this one in 4 different types of... Yeah, the only other thing that they have in here is like a few pages of this. Like what other, what kits and patterns they offer on their website. But if you like the patterns, actually, then the magazine is quite worth it, because if it has like 6 or 8 patterns in there that are... I don't know how many are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 patterns, I think. If I didn't miscount, 9 or 10. And each of them are like between 5 and 15 euros on their own. So even if I never stitch one of these, at one point I can just, you know, pass this on to someone else. But yeah, that's my tiny haul for this time. And with that, we are already at half an hour again. So that's it from me for today. I hope you did like what you saw. If you have any question about any of the patterns, I should be able to find some more information when I actually go through my folders and look for it. So feel free to put any questions down below, about my own patterns or the other ones that I showed you, or just leave a comment to chat. I'd love that as well. I hope you did get some stitching done if that's what you do while watching Flosstube. I usually do. And yeah, I hope you're having a good time. It's starting to get nice and warm outside where we are at, and we've already had 2 very summery days this weekend that we used to go for long walks and get ice cream and such. So yeah, winter's finally over. Thank the heavens for that. And yeah, I will see you guys again in 1 to 2 weeks. I'm trying to get this frequent, like 1.5 weeks ish updates because that's when I actually do have stuff to show. If I have more to show, it might be after a week. It always depends on my time because I am getting quite busy these days. But yeah, if you enjoyed what you saw, please subscribe and leave a like to this video. It helps a lot. And yeah, hopefully I will see you again next time. Have a great day, rest of your day, or day if you're just starting it. And yeah, take care. Bye bye.